Welcome to the Parenting Power Podcast, supporting parents with the real-life tools they need to raise the confident, interdependent people the world needs. Gail Bell and Julie Friedman-Smith interview experts who share their knowledge to assist parents in creating a home environment where kids can thrive.
Hello, I'm Julie Friedman-Smith.
And this is Gail Bell.
And we're here with another episode of Tools for the Trade. And the question that came into us today is, when, if ever, do I force my child to do something they don't want to do?
It's an excellent question because nobody wants to be the mean parent making their children do things. However, kids don't raise kids. Teens don't raise teens. Adults raise children. So we do have a job and a responsibility to parent and raise our children to be healthy, happy, safe kids. So there are going to be times in a child's life, and I would go out on a limb and say many, many times, where we have to force a child not to do something like touch a hot stove. They are going to get burned. So we would have to force them not to touch the stove. Also, like crossing the street. If we just let them run into the street, there's a chance they may be hurt. That's a terrible thing to think about. So for a young one, we would force them to hold our hands. I don't love the word force. Because it has such a negative connotation. It makes us sound like we're getting into a power struggle right away, and it doesn't have to be a power struggle. I think the word follow through on family expectations, which would include safety and health, is a much better way to think of it for parents, not to feel so guilty about stuff. Parents feel guilty about lots of stuff as it is. And then there's other situations where, let's say your child, you've signed them up for 6-week or 10-week swimming lessons because it's a life skill, and you're going to spend some time at a lake this summer, and they hate swimming lessons. Well, there's going to be lots of things in life they don't like. So we're not helping our children if we say, okay, well, you don't have to go this Saturday. We'll try again next Saturday. No, try at the beginning of the session to say, this in our family, it is an expectation and you learn how to swim. Get a calendar out. We are going swimming these next 6 weeks, Saturday at 9 o'clock. You may like it, or even when they're telling you they don't like it, then you state again, that's okay that you don't like it. We're not asking you to go on a swim team, but for these next 6 weeks, we will be going to swimming every single time. They may want to mark it off on a calendar if you want. You can go yelling and screaming, but we will be going to swimming lessons.
And you can also plan, what could you do instead of yelling and screaming, right? You can set up a better way, like what are we going to do to help you get through this instead of you're going to yell and scream the whole time.
Right, and helping them through is not, and if you're a good boy, we'll get you ice cream after you're swimming. That's called a bribe. So our expectation is you go calmly and quietly. If you have fears of the pool, we can talk about those fears or negative feelings, because those are just fears and feelings, and they go away. We can talk about that. We can talk to your swim teacher. Often in those classes, it's better for the parents to let the teacher know what's happening, drop the child off, and leave. Some behavior from children is often for parents' attention. So don't get caught up into that. And you're not a bad parent if your child's not happy when you drop them off at a class. We've all been through those things. So again, yes, there are times where you have to follow through / force your child to do something because it is in the best interest of their development or health or safety. And then there's other times where you have to say to yourself, am I just trying to win a power struggle here? So when there's things like sleep, you cannot force a child to go to sleep. You cannot force a child to eat. That doesn't mean you flip it 180 degrees and give them only the things they will eat. We know a child needs to be presented a new food at least 15 times. So don't get in the power struggle over it. Say, for example, sleep. We expect you to lie in your bed quietly with your head on the pillow. That's all you can expect. With food, your words are telling me you don't like dinner tonight. That's what's for dinner. If you're hungry, you'll eat. So for sure, around food and sleep and toileting, you don't want to get in a power struggle with. You can't force them to do anything. And there's other things where we do. We need to do it in the best interest, health, the safety of our child.
That's great, Gail. Thank you. Lots of things to think about there. And I love that you position it as a reframing, because when we feel like we're forcing them, the yucky feelings that come for us as parents may outnumber it and cause us to rethink. So get clear on what the values you want to teach and the independence that you want to give to your children in the long run, because it's what we do with them day in, day out. They live what they learn and learn what they live. So when we're clear about the expectations, we're clear about the consequences, then they can make the choices they need to make and have positive consequences or negative consequences as a result. Thanks for listening. Talk to you next time.